It still happens a lot that a company decides to start working in a more agile way. Management usually picks a specific product line, or a department, or both, that will pilot this transition. So when asked to lead this change in a Scrum way of working, there are many differences in starting and running the project. In this post, I want to highlight specifically project startup and stakeholder management compared to the more traditional approaches to manage a project. Let's explore how these two aspects can differ in the context of Scrum. First, a little information on Agile and Scrum. Agile is a dynamic approach to project management that emphasizes flexibility, collaboration, and customer centricity. It diverges from traditional linear methods by promoting iterative development cycles, enabling teams to respond swiftly to changes in requirements and market conditions. At its core, Agile fosters a mindset of continuous improvement, where cross-functional teams work closely together to deliver incremental value at every stage. Regular feedback loops from stakeholders ensure that the end product aligns closely with user needs, enhancing customer satisfaction. Agile principles, outlined in the Agile Manifesto, champion customer collaboration, adaptability, and a focus on delivering a minimum viable product quickly, allowing organizations to gain valuable insights and pivot as necessary. Scrum, a subset of the Agile framework, provides a structured approach to managing complex projects. It divides work into time-boxed iterations called sprints, typically lasting 2 to 4 weeks. These sprints promote a sense of urgency, as teams commit to delivering a set of prioritized features by the sprint's end. Scrum teams consist of a product owner, who represents the customer's interests and defines the product backlog, and a self-organizing development team responsible for implementing the features. The Scrum Master facilitates the process, ensuring that the team adheres to Scrum principles and remains unblocked. As mentioned, when you start working Agile, you will notice that starting up a project and communicating with your stakeholders differs from the regular project management which you were used to. Product backlog creation. In Scrum, the product backlog replaces the traditional project plan. It consists of a prioritized list of user stories or features that represent the desired functionality of the product. The product backlog is collaboratively created and continuously refined by the product owner, stakeholders, and the development team. Iterative planning. In Scrum, project startup involves an iterative and incremental planning process. Instead of a detailed upfront plan, the project starts with an initial product backlog that evolves and adapts throughout the project. The focus is on delivering value early and continuously refining the plan based on feedback and changing priorities. Agile chartering. Instead of a formal project charter, Scrum teams often engage in an Agile chartering process. Agile chartering involves aligning the team, defining project goals and vision, establishing team norms, and clarifying roles and responsibilities. It sets the foundation for collaboration and shared understanding within the team. Sprint planning. Scrum introduces the concept of sprints, time-boxed iterations, typically lasting 2 to 4 weeks. Project startup involves sprint planning meetings where the team selects a set of user stories from the product backlog for the upcoming sprint. The focus is on defining a realistic scope for the sprint based on capacity and priorities. Product owner's primary stakeholder interface. In Scrum, the product owner acts as the primary interface between the development team and stakeholders. They are responsible for representing stakeholder interests, managing the product backlog, and ensuring that the team is delivering value to stakeholders. Incremental stakeholder feedback. Scrum encourages frequent stakeholder feedback through sprint reviews. At the end of each sprint, stakeholders have the opportunity to review the increment of the product and provide feedback. This iterative feedback loop allows for continuous improvement and ensures that stakeholder needs and expectations are met. Collaborative engagement. Stakeholder engagement in Scrum is typically more collaborative and ongoing. Stakeholders have the opportunity to be involved throughout the project through activities such as backlog refinement sessions, sprint reviews, and attending daily scrums. This collaborative engagement fosters transparency, shared understanding, and stakeholder satisfaction. Adaptive stakeholder management. Scrum embraces change and welcomes evolving stakeholder requirements. Stakeholder management involves adapting to changing priorities and incorporating feedback into the product backlog. Regular communication and collaboration with stakeholders help ensure that their needs are understood and addressed throughout the project. Overall, the shift to Scrum brings a more iterative and collaborative approach to project startup and stakeholder management. The focus is on delivering value early and continuously refining plans and stakeholder engagement based on feedback and changing priorities. Embracing the principles and practices of Scrum allows for greater adaptability, transparency, and stakeholder satisfaction throughout the project lifecycle. Educate the team. Begin by imparting knowledge. Equip your team with comprehensive training and resources that outline the core tenets of Scrum. Emphasize the paradigm shift from conventional project management to Agile methodologies. Help them grasp the collaborative essence and iterative nature of Agile, which empowers them to thrive in an ever-evolving business realm. Establish roles and responsibilities. Craft a solid foundation. Define roles like the product owner, responsible for curating and prioritizing the product backlog. Appoint a Scrum Master to facilitate events and eliminate obstacles. Ensure every team member comprehends their roles within the Scrum framework, fostering a sense of ownership and purpose. Adapt project management practices. Revise your playbook. Bid farewell to traditional project plans and embrace the dynamic product backlog. Embrace Scrum ceremonies, sprint planning, daily scrums, sprint reviews, and retrospectives that infuse agility and continuous improvement. Embrace iterative progress over rigid phase-based deliverables. Form cross-functional Scrum teams. Harmonize your team. Assemble them around diverse skill sets, essential for delivering incremental product growth. Nurture an environment of collaboration and self-organization, nurturing a culture of collective accountability and shared triumphs. Prioritize the product backlog. Enrich your roadmap. Collaborate with stakeholders to prioritize user stories based on value and risk. Employ techniques like story mapping and relative sizing to refine and sequence backlog items. Keep the backlog fluid, evolving with feedback and evolving requirements. Adopt time-boxed sprints. Step into agility. Determine optimal sprint durations, usually spanning to 4 weeks, aligning with project needs. Convene sprint planning sessions to set goals and select backlog items. Encourage your team to commit to delivering valuable product increments within each time-boxed iteration. Foster transparent communication. Forge strong bonds. Engage in daily scrums for synchronization and issue resolution. Conduct sprint reviews to showcase increments and gather stakeholder insights. Facilitate sprint retrospectives for introspection and growth, laying the groundwork for enhanced performance. Embrace continuous improvement. Cultivate a growth mindset. Instill the ethos of inspecting and adapting processes, tools, and teamwork dynamics. Regularly evaluate Agile practices, integrating feedback and lessons learned. Empower your team to innovate fearlessly, viewing setbacks as stepping stones to excellence. Encourage stakeholder collaboration. Expand your horizons. Involve stakeholders in backlog refinement, sprint reviews, and demos. Seek their feedback to enhance alignment and product quality. Nurture an ecosystem where collaboration between stakeholders and the development team thrives, bolstering project success. Continuously learn and adapt. Evolve perpetually. Create avenues for ongoing learning and Agile practices. Cultivate an environment that values experimentation, recognizing failures as opportunities for growth. Tailor Agile approaches to suit your project and organizational context, ensuring an optimal fit. As you embark on your digital transformation expedition, remember that Agile and Scrum are merely methodologies, and they can be catalysts for sustainable success in an ever-changing world. By integrating these principles into your project management DNA, you equip yourself to not just adapt to change, but thrive within it. Agile and Scrum embrace change and welcome evolving stakeholder requirements, adapting to changing priorities, and incorporating feedback into the product backlog. The team fosters transparent communication and embraces continuous improvement, empowering them to innovate fearlessly and view setbacks as opportunities for growth.